Hi, in this YouTube stream I will talk about my experience with Linux since the beginning. I started using Linux when I was in the fourth year of high school. It was after I saw a video on YouTube by Tio Joe. It was this challenge if you are a computer geek. There was a question about if you ever used Linux, so I went on Wikipedia to search what Linux was, a family of operating systems. I was saying that I first used Linux using VirtualBox on my mother's old laptop, this old Acer Aspire with 8 GB of RAM, Intel HD 3000. I used the VirtualBox. I started with Ubuntu 16.04 with Unity Desktop. If you don't know what Ubuntu 16 is, I will show you. This is Ubuntu 16.04 with this menu at the side of the screen, the dock. Later I tried Debian 8. It was the first time I saw the GNOME desktop environment. I thought it was very futuristic because it was similar to Android but also macOS with the overview if you press the button for the 3D view. Then around 2018, when I finished high school, I bought the laptop that I have now, the Acer Nitro 5. This laptop has NVIDIA graphics because at the beginning I didn't know that NVIDIA was bad for Linux, and also because in those years high performance gaming laptop with AMD graphics they weren't available. There was only first generation Ryzen. But since I wanted a computer for gaming as well, this was the most powerful system with my budget of 800 euros. It is about $900. So the first time I bought that computer, it was shipped without an operating system. It had a Linux version made by Acer, only test mode, 32-bit Linux Linux. So first I looked for a good Linux distro. The first one that I found was Linux Mint 18.3 with Cinnamon desktop environment. I installed it and everything worked fine. But when I knew more about Linux, I discovered that Linux Mint had a little older software, so I switched to Pop! OS 18.04. At the beginning I loved Pop! OS because it worked very well with NVIDIA drivers installed. out of the box. Then I also tried Elementary OS 4.0 or 5. It was very good to have the dock at the bottom, but I didn't like it because it didn't allow me to customize it. Later, I also knew about the BSD systems, the BSD distros. For example, I discovered that there is FreeBSD, OpenBSD, NetBSD. I firstly tried them on my old laptop, this black one with Pentium M, 1.5 GB of RAM, SATA hard drive 60 GB. At the beginning, this old laptop had Windows XP like everyone else. I experienced various distros on there. First, Linux Mint 18.3 XFC 32-bit. It worked fine, but I found out that XFC was a little hello F society, I hope you are good. I tried virtual machine on OpenBSD, but it doesn't work. QEMU works without hardware acceleration. And yes, Linux is a good choice. For example, if you use Fedora Linux Workstation, you don't need to install anything. It is set up out of the box because it gives you GNOME boxes. You simply install Virtual Manager and everything works really well. There is also the console to use Fedora server, the cockpit console, and you can also use cockpit to control your virtual machines like Virtual Manager. Chris Titus made a video about that. Returning to Linux on my old laptop, I installed FreeBSD 13 with XFC. Later, I switched to Zenode SDM login manager on FreeBSD with Window Maker desktop environment. Window Maker is that thing similar to the Nest operating system that was created by Steve Jobs when he left Apple. This is Window Maker. It worked pretty well, but then I switched to LSD, I think. Then I also tried OpenBSD on that old laptop. I also made a video about that, and OpenBSD's performance were a little worse than FreeBSD because all the security that goes inside OpenBSD makes the system performance a little worse. Is this a live or a video live? I didn't pre-record this stream. I am doing this at this time. But the best Linux distribution for my old laptop is Arch Linux 32. I made some videos about that. The funniest thing was that to install it, I needed to put the hard drive or out of the old laptop, connect it with SATA to USB adapter to my new one, and I used the virtual parts to install Linux on that hard drive. Then I took it and I put it. Hi, hello Chris, I hope everything good. In this stream I am talking about my history as a Linux user. So I put the hard drive inside the old laptop again, and Arch Linux 32 was working really well, especially Linux Zen kernel really gives you high performance if you use a very old system. But Arch Linux had some troubles with repositories. Another operating system I tried was Debian 11, but I quickly switched to Debian Seed because on Debian 11 the applications like Brasero and SF Burner to burn CDs with music, they didn't work, so I switched to Debian Seed. With the installation media I had chosen LSQT because by installing LSD it didn't install the Wi-Fi driver, because that laptop has the Intel Wi-Fi card 2200BG. It requires obviously a custom firmware, a Slackware, a nice distro. I tried it once in a virtual machine, but it's a bit, let's say, old for what I need, and I need something simple for day-to-day use. For example, here I have Pop! OS. I will talk about why I don't like Pop! OS anymore after some time. As I told you, I also discovered the BSD distros. I never tried NetBSD. I once installed it in a virtual machine, but I had difficulties in changing the shell. As to FreeBSD, it works well. If you change some settings, you can make it work really well. For example, you, Chris from Greek, you made a good FreeBSD distros, CultBSD. I checked the links, but it is disappear. But now that Void Linux that you made works very well. For example, the GNOME version, it was very good, the best of your distros created by you. OpenBSD, I was saying, it is the best for security. I also tried it on my new laptop. It works well with Intel USD 630 graphics. Nvidia doesn't give you problems because it doesn't turn on, doesn't work. I also installed Arch Linux on my laptop. It worked well, but I had difficulties in enabling the NVIDIA driver, so I preferred to stay on the Debian Ubuntu family of operating systems. Once I installed Debian Seed, Debian SFC Seed. I also made a post on Reddit. My Reddit name is Sean_Black. I've chosen that name because Sean is a good name, and I had the inspiration for Black when watching a movie, School of Rock, because the main character, the music teacher, was called Black, and he was a cool guy, a cool teacher. Nowadays, around 2019-2020, I don't like Pop! OS. I don't know if you can see from the stream, but if you have used Pop! OS in these years, you will know that it switched to Cosmic desktop environment, and I really don't like it. Cosmic. At the beginning, I loved GNOME 3 because it was so futuristic. Maybe I can show you the. Maybe now you can see the Cosmic desktop environment. There is this application thing at the bottom. It's a mess. I really don't like it. But since Debian 11, sometimes it works, other times it doesn't. I don't like Pop! OS anymore. I hope you saw the Pop! OS on the second screen. Ubuntu LSQT. Yes, I tried LSD on the old laptop. It works very well. I was saying I like GNOME 3, especially with the customization with macOS X Leopard window borders, like I showed you in that video 20 things to do after you install Debian 11. And yes, I really like old macOS style, especially the dock at the bottom. Fedora Linux never worked well for me until Fedora 35. With Fedora 35, I first tried that distro on my laptop, and it worked well. It had a very wonderful GNOME 3 without stupid customizations. It was everything I wanted. Now we are the 30th of April. I hope around 10th of May Fedora, the new one with GNOME 42, will be out, and I hope it will support customization. For example, on GNOME you can do wonderful customization like Fedora Cyberpunk Edition, that thing with futuristic neon, that I also made a video about that. Now I have finished talking about my history as a Linux user. Maybe if you want I can talk about something else. Only 2 viewers now. For example, Flatpak. I tried Flatpak first on Fedora, and it worked pretty well. But since OBS Studio showed on their main page that for Linux they prefer to use Flatpak, I started using it more as well, and I discovered that Flatpak is very good, because the best thing about it is that it is very simple to have the same version. Hello Null, I hope you are good. Two is not visible, not free to maintain buffering. I unplugged the second video, the second monitor. Maybe now the performance will be better. Installed in Firefox with Flatpak, the icon is black for me with Ubuntu latest. Yes, with Ubuntu 22.04, I found some problems as well. For example, the toy browser isn't working, and on default Ubuntu there is the default Firefox uses Snap, and so it is a bit old to load. GNU Course Linux, I saw it once. It is a pretty hidden distribution, not reviewed by many people. Does it work well? Better than Arch? Yes, Jorge. Yes, you are right. Firefox with Snap is slow. This is because I don't like default Ubuntu, but I prefer custom distros. My favorite one is Linux Mint because it doesn't use Snap, but unluckily the software is a little old. Ubuntu as I told you, there is this new customization of GNOME that I don't like. I hope that when Debian will switch to GNOME 42, yes, it does, can solve the problem. If you can see, there is a tutorial Snap. Dev one, yes, I tried it, but it has little packages available because it uses OpenIC. Yes, this one. We change it to English to make everyone understand. The English version of the page isn't available. I will do a quick translation until it stops freezing. I will translate it for you. As you can see, Canonical decided to use Snap. Even the boss of Canonical, the boss of Ubuntu, is telling that because of this, since now many other applications will be installed using Snap. One of those applications, it is the Mozilla web browser that since today it is only available with Snap even on Ubuntu 22. My opinion on the Snap version of Firefox, I already told you. The experience isn't the best, but it isn't even bad. Surely you can see that it is low when you first start it. Here the deb version is faster. After that they work the same. Here I will tell you how to install the deb version to use it instead of Firefox Snap. The things of Snap that you don't like are the performance, because they need a lot of time to start. They automatically update in the background. For some people it can be a trouble, and some third-party integration, they don't work well. For example, you cannot install GNOME extension from their website. Everyone is trying to fix the problems. Here the commands to remove Firefox Snap. First of all, you need to add the Mozilla official PPA. Then you install Firefox deb, and then you need to make sure Firefox Snap won't be reinstalled. First, remove the snap with the command sudo snap remove Firefox. Then add the PPA, sudo add apt repository, PPA Mozilla team /PPA. Now copy and paste echo this thing here. Then if you want to make it automatically update using the deb version, never the Flatpak one, also type this command, and here sudo apt install Firefox, and in this way you successfully removed the Firefox Snap from Ubuntu. Hi null. Yes, quiz, but as I told you, I didn't have a good experience with Al1en99 because I had difficulties in setting up my NVIDIA system, my NVIDIA card, while on Fedora. Now it works very well, like on Debian Linux distros. Doritos, yes, very popular in the US as well. Good. Coffee. Yes, as I told you, I think that Debian works well. The only disadvantage of Debian is that Yes, is that when you first install Debian, for example, the GNOME version, because I like GNOME, there are a lot of applications pre-installed and you need to delete all of them, almost all of them. The main difference between Flatpak and Snap, I already told you while translating that website from Italian to English, that Snap is a proprietary package only used by Ubuntu, while Flatpak I show you better. Flatpak is a universal format used by a lot of Linux distros. It was created by Fedora, but it works on everything. Wait, I hope it loads. I show you that you can install Flatpak on everything, and when they create a Flatpak application, the same version of the application will work on every Linux distro in the same way, the same version. As you can see, Flatpak work on everything, even some strange distros like Al1en99, NitroS, Void, Clear Linux. Clear Linux is the fastest Linux distro. Once I tried it, but the package manager is a little strange. So yeah, if you want the highest performance possible, even better than Arch, yes, you should try it. And it works well. Pydus Linux, this was made by the Turkish. It is Debian SFC customized for them, nothing more. As to distros from other nations, I also found out Hakuma KR. It is a South Korean distro similar to Linux Mint with custom neon theme. Maybe I will try it in the future. Another good thing of Flatpak is that it doesn't make your system dirty by adding a lot of custom PPAs. For example, on the updated video on how to install the PlayStation 2 emulator on Linux, I told you to use Flatpak or AppImage. In this way, you don't need to add the special custom repository. And the advantage of Flatpak is that the same PlayStation 2 emulator will work very well on every Linux distribution. Yes, Flak. I had a video game about World War II called Panzer Code 1. The Flak was the anti-aircraft weapon from the Germans. I like the Panzer video game. Maybe in future I will upload it because I finished it. I also had Mario Kart Wii, played with Dolphin emulator and Super Hot. I will maybe upload them when Are you a developer? No, I am not a developer. I'm simply a user. I started being interested in Linux in the end of high school, 17-18 years old. I did a lot of mistakes on my mother's laptop. If it still works, it's a miracle. But thanks to my mistakes, I learned how to better use Linux. By doing mistakes, you learn. What do you want to know? What else should I talk about? For example, my setup for the videos. Yes, I will start from the application that I use. At the beginning, to record the video games, I use the Bandicam. For example, my first videos of playing GTA Vice City, I used the Bandicam to record GTA Vice City, but later I used the OBS Studio to record everything, both on Windows and Linux. And as to the video editing software, I use OpenShot Video Editor. It always worked well. On Linux, it works with Intel QSV acceleration QuickSync, while on Linux it works with NVIDIA NVENC. Then, talking about the hardware setup, you can see my YouTube video about that, Al1en99 2022 gaming editing setup. But I have, as you know, my red and black laptop, the Acer 945. It has Intel i5 8300H with turbo boost 4 GHz. It is as powerful as i7 3770K or 4790K, and I have as a graphics card Intel USD 330 and NVIDIA GTX 1050. It works well. I also have an Xbox One that I use to play video games and watch Netflix. I have a 1080p monitor. 32-bit Atom. Well, use out Linux 32. It is the best. I made a video about installing it. Otherwise, Debian LSQT is a very good alternative to Arch. It has a little worse performance, but it is 10 times simpler to install. OpenBSD. It works well, but if you want performance, I think Linux is a little better. Yes, Nula, I think I saw that link on the mail. Yes, it is a very good website you made. And I think I've Your friend is also an Italian person. Good. He will have easier time to understanding that article on that Italian website about Firefox. If you want to know some other things about Linux, for example, write that you can give me ideas to talk about new things. As a user, you value my performance or correctness. Well, it depends on what you need. For example, on the old laptop, I absolutely need performance. Otherwise, it hangs up, it crashes. But thank you, Null. You are a very good user, very good person. The correctness is very important. For example, on a server, for example, OpenBSD and FreeBSD are mainly used on servers. Ubuntu or Fedora, well, at the beginning of my Linux days, I loved Ubuntu and Ubuntu derivatives because it worked really well on my laptop. But now I will like Fedora because it gives me the default clean GNOME, my favorite desktop environment. It also has better security, but without sacrificing features. For example, OpenBSD works, but it is difficult to use it with NTFS file system support because the NTFS is read-only, while on Fedora everything is good. It gives you fast updates and also very good security thanks to SE Linux. And now on Wayland, OBS Studio works on Wayland with NVIDIA together with OpenShot, so I can use it to make my YouTube videos. With the manager and QEMU, they work out of the box. You don't need to configure anything. Everything is set up by default. VirtualBox, you simply install VirtualBox, VirtualBox Guest Edition ISO and VirtualBox Extension Pack. It automatically compiles the kernel modules and it works well. While Flatpak, they work on Fedora as well. The PlayStation 2 emulator work with the same performance on Ubuntu and Fedora. So yes, now Fedora is a very good choice. I never tried KDE Plasma, but some people say that they are making improvements as well. For example, if you are Italian, there is this YouTuber Nicolove. I don't have the accent because now I am using the American keyboard layout. This one is very comfortable because some keys such as this one or this one are very easy to reach, while on the Italian keyboard the slash is above the 7 and the minus key is at the bottom near the Alt GR and CTRL. There are also the accents, but since my videos I only make them in English, I don't need the accents. They are useless for what I do. And so the American keyboard layout is very good for me. If you have other ideas, for example, some distros to recommend for viewers now, if you want some more information, you can write in the chat. What other language do you speak? I am Italian. I also speak English. I studied English in school. In middle school, I also studied some German. If F society is still here, I can speak some German. In high school, I studied French, but even if the teacher was very good and very nice, I don't like the French language because if you are Italian, you know that they stolen the Gioconda. Everybody knows that. Yes. By the way, in GTA Vice City with Vice Square graphics mod, no, I'm not Indian, I'm Italian. I don't know why some people think I am Indian when I speak English. Maybe because of the accent, I don't know. Even somebody that I met on Discord thought I was Indian, but I am not. I don't know. Maybe because when you learn a foreign language, you pick up the accent based on what you listen more. For example, if you, let's say, study Spanish language, but you only see those movies about Pablo Escobar, Mexicans and things, you will speak with Mexican Colombian accent. Or for example, if you study Italian but you only learn from southern Italy, you will speak with Napolitan accent. Or if you study French, there is the French from French and the French from Africa where you're speaking the same way in English. For example, there is the British accent, like that singer saying 12 seats, that is difficult to understand. Also the Ghana accent, the Nigeria accent, popular in Africa. The Ghana is high pitch, the Nigerian low pitch. I know this because I have some friends. You understand those languages because of the typical accent. The sound engine also Jack Pulse Audio. Well, on Linux I use the default. I don't know what I am using, but it works very well. For example, now I am using PopOS to record this video, to do this stream, and I also use the Pipewire with the latest Fedora ones. The recording ended out fine, so yes, Pipewire is working very good as well, but I don't know which one of the three. If you have some more questions about Linux and things you want that I'll talk about Linux, please write again in the chat. Otherwise, in a few minutes, I will end the stream because I think I talked about what I wanted to talk about. I also I already told you my history as a Linux user, so I think it is done. But if you have other things you want to know, write here in the chat. I don't know as to the Bluetooth. I never use it on Linux. Once I tried it pairing my Bluetooth earphones and they were working fine. Maybe if Wi-Fi doesn't work, you should keep using ALSA. You may use a Wi-Fi in future because I think that with new releases they will fix the bugs. So you should wait. Everything on Linux you need to wait because they will fix the bugs and the problems with time. Thank you, Jorge. Good night to you as well. By the way, I never studied Spanish. I only understand a few words I learned from movies, like that new one on Netflix, Yankee. Good night. When I was a kid, I went to Greece, as I told you many years ago. I learned only two words from that language. Kalimera, good morning. Kalisfera, good evening. Right? Right or not? Yes, I think I will end the stream now because no one is asking more questions about Linux and other informations about what I use on YouTube and my favorite Linux distros. Very nice. Yes. So bye. Now I will end the stream. Hope everyone is good. End the stream. And